Hey, hello, howdy, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I was trying to mix it up a little, trying to try out some new introductions, see what works. Anyway, trying to get a little creative because, not having an intro or an outro, not having the intro or outro music and not editing it and making horrible quality isn't spicing it up enough. It's just not quite unique enough, Doing this podcast from my iPhone and letting all the sounds of the background noises and not editing it and hearing my dog sneeze in the background, and poop bags in the background. Bless you. God bless. Oh my goodness. Schnitzel. You've got the schnitzels. Oh, good gravy. See, I'm delivering on my promise to hear all that's going on. You just hear life in the background of this podcast, in addition to the ghetto sound quality and now my intro and outro music. And those that keep listening to me every day have to hear this speech every day. So you guys deserve all kinds of medals and a parade. I mean, a lot of people are getting parades nowadays. Everybody seems to be getting a parade and a flag. Let's just pass them out to everybody. I mean, you get a flag, you get a flag, you get a parade, you get a parade, you get a parade. We'll be like Oprah with the flags and parades. Oh, and the month's dedicated to just everybody, except for people that could use one, like the veterans and the military. Just throwing that out there. But, yeah. We'll just throw out random months and parades to just everybody that hasn't done anything but put their penis in somebody or sleep with someone. That's what, a lot of these parades are about nowadays. Who you sleep with, what you're wearing, what you identify as. It's crazy. Anyway, that's not the tangent that I was going to go off on today, but you got to go where the tangent takes you. It's a journey, it's a journey. You got to go through it. Stick with the process. I am yet again walking my dogs and holding a poop bag, following around my dog. And I'm in this area that I take my dog to a lot when I'm just doing a quick little, don't worry guys, I've already done a good long walk with them. They have had their exercise and their fresh air and all of that. But I mean, honestly, humans are so funny. We follow around our dogs to clean up their shit. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like we do with politicians. We have to just clean up their shit, It's what we do with babies. It's what we do with dogs. And it's what we have to do with, people that go around fucking things up and don't work and create, crime, commit crime. And then we, the people, have to pick up their shit. We're just eternal shit cleaner uppers. We're going around with the pooper scooper all the time, just knee deep in other things and other people's bullshit, It's getting old. It's getting tiring. I don't want to do it anymore. I would like to retire before I'm 80. Don't know if that's going to be a thing. I would also like to have, my Social Security that I was forced, that it was mandatory. Sorry, my dog is all hung up on her leash. I was forced. I was told that I had to, that it was mandatory, that I pay into Social Security. God, I can't say that word again. Anybody that's been listening to my podcast knows. It's like I have a weird lisp or a weird, I can't say it. Social Security. There we go. Been paying into that forever, since I was 14. And now I probably won't see a forking dime. And yet I still am required. I'm still required. It's still mandatory that I pay into it. So I'm paying into other people's sense of security. I'm paying in so that other people can retire. I mean, you can't retire on Social Security. You don't make enough. You don't even make enough to pay your bills. But you know what I mean? Other people get to use my money. And I'm being taxed 27% of my income so that other people can use my money. If I hear one more person get on the internet and say, oh my God, I had this amount of food stamps. I had $400 in food stamps, and now I'm only getting $50. Fuck off. I have to pay for my own food. Again, I'm not against welfare at all. I've said this over and over again. If you are working and you're trying to make a living, you're genuinely working, you're not just being lazy. Or if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, if you're a stay-at-home parent and the other one so that you can take care of your children, because daycare is very expensive, and the other person is working, and you're trying your best to, one of you is working and one of you has to stay home, has to, however you want, whatever, is staying home with the children so that you can take care of the house and all of that. Okay, if you need it as a step up, as actual help to get a leg up, that's great. I had to do the same thing. Said it all along. No problem with that. If you are a legal citizen of the United States, if you're an American citizen, and if you aren't lying about how much income, you're not committing fraud in any way, and you are actually needing it as a leg up, and you're trying to work, and you genuinely want a job, or again, if one of you is at home and the other one is working, so it's just not quite enough, okay. But if you're fraudulently using it, or you're just a lazy ass, stop getting on the internet and complaining about what you don't have, because the rest of us don't have things, and we're the ones paying for you to complain about having less. I don't have any. You have less, but I don't have any of the things that I paid for, of the things that I worked for, of the things that I earned. You didn't earn it. And why the fuck are you getting taxes back because you pooped out babies? I have kids too. And why are you getting money for the fact that you chose to have children and you chose to have unprotected sex? And if you had protected sex and you still had a child, you chose to have a child. And that's wonderful. And that's great. Nothing against that. That's fantastic. Good choice. But why are you, if you're not working, why are you getting taxes back that you never paid into at all, that I paid into, and I'm paying taxes? I owe taxes, and I've already paid 27% of my check, but somehow I owe more, and somehow you're getting it back when you haven't worked. Now, I know I've said this on 1,000 podcasts. This isn't my first bitch about this. I have bitched and bitched and bitched on many podcasts about this same thing, and I'm doing it again. Hey, every podcaster pretty much says the same thing over and over again. I mix it up. I talk about relationships. I talk about mental health. I talk about all kinds of stuff. It's not just politics. I talk about everything. I talk about addiction. I talk about love, all of it. Animals, just everything. And yeah, maybe I repeat myself sometimes. But again, if you listen to a lot of people, a lot of podcasts, they're going to touch on the same subjects a couple of times. They're going to mention certain subjects over and over again. So, that's what I'm doing, okay? Anyway, it's frustrating. But I am glad to see that more and more people are finally realizing that the economy is good. More and more people are finally tuning out The View and CNN and MSNBC and Colbert. Finally, people are starting to tune out the woke and starting to realize it doesn't work. It's not cool. Unfortunately, what's becoming a trend, and why I say unfortunately, before you get mad at me, there's a reason I'm saying unfortunately, but unfortunately, what I don't like that's becoming a trend is Christianity and Christian music. Now again, don't get your panties in a wad. The reason I say unfortunately is it shouldn't be a trend. It shouldn't be trendy and cool and hip from Hollywood and people to be like, look, right now it's trendy and cool to believe in God. It's trendy and cool to listen to Christian music. It's trendy and cool to go to church. It shouldn't be a trend. You shouldn't be doing it because it's cool. You should be doing it because you actually believe in your religion. In the religion that you're choosing to follow, you should actually believe in it. You should actually want to be a member of church or go to church because you believe in God. You should want to wear your cross because it's a symbol of your faith, not because it's an accessory. Christianity or religion is not an accessory. It's not a trend. So that's why I say unfortunately. I think I've talked about this before, but I grew up going to church. Went to church, from about 7 years old until 18. And then I went on and off after the age of 18. And then I stopped going probably around 30, I guess. But I used to go to church camp, Bible camp. I used to go to Sunday school and ask all the questions. I was the annoying kid that constantly asked all the questions because I'm just that I always want to know why things work, why things are the way they are. I want to know how things function, why things function the way they do. I want to take apart things. I want to dissect things. I want to understand things. I want to understand why people believe in what they believe in. I don't want to blindly follow. I don't want to be a lemming. And I think that, if there's a God, the fact that I question that, like in the Jewish faith, it's what you do. You're supposed to question. You're supposed to have questions. You're not supposed to blindly follow. And I think God would appreciate that. I don't know if there's a God, many gods. I don't know what I believe. I certainly am not a narcissistic person. I think that there are things that are more powerful than myself. Mother Nature itself is incredibly powerful. And if you think that's God, God could be just a term for anything that's a higher being if you wanted it to be. So I think there's definitely something higher than myself and greater than myself. I think there's definitely life on other planets because odds of there not being life on other planets is just... There really is no possible way that there couldn't be life somewhere in some other universe, on some other planet, in some other galaxy. I feel like it's an impossibility. So I'll just say an improbability because I know that, you can't really say anything's impossible with science, but I feel like it's improbable that there isn't life. So it's probably improbable that there isn't, like a God type of entity or a God or several gods. Who knows? Or something that we call God, but, maybe they call themselves whatever. I can't think of a clever name, but who knows? But it shouldn't be a trend to faith. Faith is not a trend, in my opinion. And wearing something it bothers me when people have a tattoo of a cross because, I thought that you weren't supposed to not deface. What is it called? To your body, desecrate? No, not desecrate. I can't think of words. Words are hard. I feel like Kamala right now. Words are hard. But you're not supposed to be getting tattoos. But of course, I'm sure that's obviously an Old Testament thing. That's probably, obviously not. What? Oh my God, you guys fell. I just kicked you out of my hand. I dropped you. Whoops. See, you never know what you're going to get. I don't even know what that sounded like on your end, but I just dropped you almost in a pile of poop. I just realized. Lovely. I hate it when people, by the way, pick up after your dog. Seriously, it's so rude. Unless you're like out in the woods and they poop off a trail, I don't find it necessary to clean up that because poop is already very biodegradable. And if it's off the trail to where people can't step in it, you're just adding litter when you put a poop bag around it. And as long as people can't step in it, it's off the trail. That's kind of silly, I feel like, to pick it up. But if you're in a public place, especially the audacity of people that don't clean up poop when a dog poops in someone else's yard, you're a special kind of a douche. You really are. Like, that's just shitty, literally. It's literally shitty. Like, that's just, who does that? Who lets their dog, like if you accidentally forget a dog bag, which I thought I had a dog bag in my pocket, And one day my dog pooped, and I was like, oh crap, and I had nothing around me. And so I had to walk. Thank goodness we have an area that has dog bags. But it was far enough that I didn't want people to think that I was just letting my dog poop and I was walking away. And I was like, oh my God, I go around cleaning up other people's dog poop. Like I go around, I even got signs that says, I don't know, people are going to go, you're such a Karen, and that's fine. Call me what you want, it doesn't bother me. I put up signs that say, be a good neighbor, pick up your dog poop. Please clean up your dog poop. And then I even bought, with my own money, a pooper scooper, a nice one, and contributed it to this area where everybody takes their dogs. And now my pooper scooper is gone. That lasted about a week, and nobody picks up their poop. Like nobody. There's just piles of shit everywhere. And I just find that so rude. Like, who does that? Do you do that? Are you someone that allows your dog to poop? Again, I was mortified when my dog pooped and I thought I had a dog bag. So I was like, oh my God, people are going to think that I am leaving without picking this up. But I picked up my dog. He's small. He's a Chihuahua. So I picked him up, ran literally over to where the poop bags were. And the whole process took about, 3 minutes, which isn't long, but long enough for people to be like, oh my God, she's leaving her dog poop. Because there's a hotel kind of nearby, and I didn't want people to be looking out the window and seeing me leave and be like the mad pooper that just like crapped and ran, run by crapper, drive by crapper. And so, I didn't do it. My dog did. That'd be a whole other thing if I were the drive by crapper. If I'm pooping in someone's yard, that's a whole different thing. But so I picked it up, and I go out of my way to even pick up other people's dog shit because I just am like, I spent a while in this little field area picking up other people's dog shit. So pick up your dog poop and cover your dog's feet in the extreme heat and extreme cold, okay? And stop breeding dogs. We don't need more dogs. I love dogs. I love dogs more than anything in the world. But because I love dogs so much, because of my huge, massive love for dogs, I don't want there to be puppies right now because we have a bajillion dogs on death row. We have dogs on death row. We have a lot of dogs that are in humane societies, in shelters, and we need those to be adopted. We don't need more puppies, as cute as they are, as wonderful as they are, as much as I love them. We don't need more right now. We don't. We have plenty of dogs in the world that need to be adopted out, and we have a lot of dogs in other countries that need to be brought over here and adopted out. Mexico treats their dogs like fucking shit. Sorry, I know I can't say an entire country treats their dogs poorly, but I've been to Mexico. I've seen it. Same with Greece. Greece just absolutely, they try to poison dogs there, and they don't treat donkeys or dogs well. It's one thing I love, well, not one thing, I love millions of things, lots of things about America, but I do love that a lot of people treat their dogs well here. Of course, we have people that don't. We definitely have abuse, unfortunately, with dogs and neglect, but it's the backyard dog breeders and the Westminster. I can't stand Westminster. It's just a pageant for dogs. I don't like pageant for people, let alone pageant for dogs. And they're all about the breeding. And we don't need more dogs right now. Again, I love dogs. It's my love for dogs that makes me say we don't need more dogs right now. We have too many that need to be adopted. Anyway, see, I'm all over the place. I talk about politics. I talk about dog poop. And I talk about dogs. I talk about all kinds of stuff. You never know what you're going to get on each podcast. You don't know what shit you're going to hear. You're not going to know if I drop the phone. I may drop the phone. It's action-packed with this. It's just action-packed. You could hear a train. You could hear sirens. I could drop the phone. My dog could be taking a crap. You'll get like firsthand. This is why I need to actually have my phone so you could get a visual. When I'm cleaning up dog poop, it's like you're there, right? Just kidding. Anyway, hey, shout out again to Singapore. You guys are giving me a ton of love, and I freaking appreciate it. Shout out to all the countries that I pick on relentlessly and still listen, because again, I always like to preface it by saying I'm not picking on the people of those countries. I'm picking on how their countries are ran, just like I picked on Biden when he was running this country. I am an equal opportunity picker-honor. But thank you to everybody listening. Whether I pick on you or not, no matter what country you're from, I appreciate you tuning in and listening and giving me a shot. Thank you so much. Again, I apologize for the lack of intro and outro music. I've got to get it worked out. Got to get it worked out. Oh, by the way, update on my neighbor, in case you guys were hanging. You're like, Courtney, what the hell? We've all been invested in your whole neighbor drama. What's going on with your neighbor? I'm sure you were all on pins and needles. I'm sure you've all been thinking about it on the edge of your seats, being like, what's going on with Courtney's neighbor? By the way, neighbor, if you're listening, we need to talk, okay? Let's talk. Let's talk it out. But news update. I have seen him. We have a visual. We do have a visual. He is alive. His dog, he does still have his dog. He has finally removed the notice on his door. Again, if you've been tuning in, I'm not being a Karen. I've admitted I'm nosy. This is not a new thing, guys. I'm nosy. I'll look into your windows. I will. If you have your windows open, I admit I want to look inside. It's just human nature. I mean, not everybody does. Some people might call that perverted. I say curious, So I just make up these things in my head on what people are doing once in a while. Again, I don't do it with all of my neighbors. I don't do it all the time. I'm not that guy. But once in a while, I'll see things that don't make sense. And then I start obsessing on them. And I'm like, hey, that seems out of the ordinary. Hey, that doesn't seem normal. And again, I think this is a good thing because I'm the neighbor that's going to notice the psycho that moves in and warns everybody and be like, see, if I weren't a nosy person, you would have no idea that psycho person is living here and y'all would be dead. Thank you. You're welcome. I saved your life. Or if someone's about ready to blow up the building, who knows? Or, there's just many benefits to me being a bit of a snoop. And again, I'm not a snooper, as in I'm not going to go out of my way to stalk you and watch you and see what you're doing. I'm not that person, you guys. Calm down. I'm just saying that if your window is open, I might gooseneck and look in and be like, what does your apartment look like? What does your house look like? What are you watching on TV? Are you sitting down for dinner? Are you dancing? What are you doing? It's interesting. I find people so freaking fascinating. It's not because I'm a creeper. I'm not trying to be weird and creepy. It's not a fetish. It's not a peeping Tom thing. It's a genuinely curious on what your design aesthetic is like, I just like looking at what your house looks like. I like looking what kinds of things you like to watch on TV. I guess that sounds creepy, but I really don't mean it that way. And I'm not judging in the sense that I'm not going to tell on you if you're smoking weed. Not that it's, at least in Oregon, it's not illegal anyway. Federally, yes, but anyway. So calm down if y'all think I'm being a stalker with my neighbor. There were just some things that were really weird that didn't add up. And you might be thinking, well, maybe you just thought they were weird or you were making them into weird things. That could be true too. That might be a possibility. Nonetheless, in case you were wondering, in case you too were, wanting to know about this and invested in this story, I've seen him now a couple of times. I've seen his dog, and he actually kind of made eye contact in his own way. He kind of smiled when his dog sniffed me, and I said, oh yeah, there's all the smells. I smell like dogs. And he kind of smiled and still looked down and still didn't say anything, but he kind of smiled and wasn't totally weird. So I've seen him a couple of times now. And I've seen his I'll call it his work vehicle. So that's back. In case everybody, I just feel, what if one person out there was like, Courtney, don't leave me hanging. I had to fill it in for that one person. If the rest of you didn't care, I'm sorry. But just in case there's somebody out there that gave a shit about that story, there you go. You're welcome. Anyway, speaking of, how are you guys doing? What's going on in your neck of the world? Scotland, Norway, Sweden, China, Taiwan, Singapore, France, Germany, Canada, Australia, Uganda, Africa. What's all happening? What are you guys doing? Greece. What's going on in your country? I hope we can all just get our shit together, I think the theme of this podcast is just like shit. It's like, I don't give a shit. I'm cleaning up everybody's shit. Don't give a shit. And it seems that the world is full of shit. There's a lot of people that are full of shit. There's people that are in some deep shit. Again, we can talk about Obama and Hillary and Fauci and Pelosi, but we all know that none of them are going to see a courtroom, let alone a jail cell. I keep saying it because it's true. Nobody is going to be held accountable. Say it with me. No one is going to be held accountable. Why? Because they're politicians. Trump is the only politician that will ever be held accountable. I just find it funny that politicians made their own rule that they could basically do that they can have insider trading, that they could have the inside scoop on the stock market and that's okay. And they wrote it into a law that protects them so that it's okay that they do so. But if Martha Stewart does it, she goes to jail. She goes to prison. If I do it, I go to prison. But if a politician does it, they conveniently write it into a law being like, oh, by the way, we're going to make it okay to have insider trading and get filthy stinking rich. Of course they made that a law. God, so gross. So gross that I have to pay a ton of taxes and they don't. So gross that they can commit crimes and not be held accountable. But, not that I want to commit crimes, I don't. But I can't. And if I do, I'm going to be held accountable. There are people that haven't committed crimes. There are innocent people that have been held accountable for crimes they did not commit. And yet politicians are walking around, with their collar up, popping their collar, just thinking they're, cooler than shit. See, cooler than shit. There we go. It's another one. Today's podcast is sponsored by shit. S-H-I-T. Say it with me. Shit. Anyway. All right. Enough of that. Enough. We're turning the other cheek. We are taking the high road, as Keisha would say, taking the high road. Oh, that was god-awful. Woo. That was bad. In addition to crappy sound, you also have shitty sounds coming out my mouth. But there's the Kesha song, High Road, and cue that song. Anyway, yes, I know it has two meanings. That's the whole point. I get it. Smoking, getting high, and also high road. Yep. Just like the two meanings of jeans, for example. Shout out to Cindy Sweeney. Yeah, not Cindy. Why do I keep calling her Cindy? Sydney Sweeney. Anyway, thank you. I hope that you all focus on the good. Don't give any attention like I just did. I just did it, so I'm a hypocrite. Don't give attention to all that foolish nonsense, to all that tomfoolery, all those shenanigans and tomfoolery. Don't pay it any attention. Don't even give an ounce of energy to the crappy people out there. As much as I hate Taylor Swift, I kind of like the song Shake It Off because it is true. Just shake it off, honestly. If they're not your family members and your friends, does it matter what a stranger thinks of you? It does not. So we're shaking it off and we are minding our business and we are going to focus on what we can control. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I'm going to do. And if you want to do that, that's awesome. Have some tea, have some coffee, have some water, have a protein shake, and enjoy your day however it is. Hiking, fishing, hunting, writing music, playing music, whatever it is. I want you to go out, do something for you. Today is you day. I mean, unless you're a real dick, if you're like a piece of shit that always makes every day you day, then make it about someone else today. Make it a non-you day for once. But if you're someone that could just use a you day, then you freaking do it. It's okay. Your house can wait. Things can wait sometimes. Or not a day. It doesn't even have to be a day. Make it a you half an hour at least. You have my permission. If anybody gives you any crap, you say, well, Courtney told you so. Courtney said so. Courtney said so. And then, you can refer them to me. Refer them here. I will talk to them. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time.